Steve McCoy on Facebook?
Yes, I am.
He's done a lot of photography. Really talented.
Yeah, and he's part of the Toastmasters group.
Yeah, I saw that. I know. I probably should have joined that about 40 years ago, but I didn't. And my career probably suffered as a result.
We are now live on YouTube, but we're waiting for quorum. So hello, Charlotte. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, I am here. It took me probably almost 10 minutes to log in.
Wow.
I don't know why that took a while.
The
There's Steve McCoy.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. I know. Hold on, I've got a feedback.
I probably should have joined that about 40 years ago, but I didn't. And my career probably suffered as a result.
We are now live. There, I closed off my other window so we don't get the feedback. You do have quorum now with Charlotte and Stephen.
Yay.
Welcome, Stephen. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. I'm just having a little bit of lunch here, so.
Yeah. Just so everyone knows, we have regrets from Sylvana, our chair. So David will be chairing. And regrets from Councillor Hollingsworth as well. She had a conflict. So with the four of you, you have quorum, and we'll see also if Alicia joins us in mid-meeting. So, but we're good. Anytime you want to start, David.
We'll get the hang of this eventually. Okay, so Wednesday, January 19th, noon. This is the meeting of the Historic Site Board call to order. First item, is there any pecuniary interest with any of the items on the agenda? I'll take that as no. I need somebody to move, adopt the agenda.
It's Alicia. I'll adopt the agenda to move.
Moved by Alicia. Seconder.
I'll second it. It's Jamie.
Jamie?
Yeah.
Okay. So next step is adoption of the minutes from the previous meeting.
You just have to, sorry, David, you just have to read the resolution and ask for a show of hands to carry the adoption.
Oh, we're still on the, okay. Resolve that the agenda for the Historic Site Board meeting for January 19th, 2022, as presented, be approved by show of hands. Still.
No objections, so you're probably good.
Okay, I'm getting a positive from
yeah,
Charlotte.
I see hands up from everyone.
Yeah. Okay. Approved.
Okay.
Okay, next item, to resolve that the minutes of the Historic Site Board meeting for December 8th, 2021 be approved. Do we have a mover?
I can move that. It's Jamie speaking.
Thank you again, Jamie.
I'll second Stephen here.
Thank you, Stephen. Okay, so can by show of hands resolve that the minutes of Historic Site Board meeting of December 8th, 2021 be approved? Yeah, I'm seeing all hands up. Okay. Any business arising from the minutes?
Last meeting, the business arising was the policy review, and I just want to make note that The correspondence will be sent out around the end of this month to everyone about the policies again and the strategic plan, with some possible start dates for review. So each of the policies, exhibition, conservation, physical plant, community, and human resources, are all due for review. Because we took a couple years off from the pandemic, the CMOG didn't require any review. And then we just took it off too. So we got to catch up. So we'll be looking for one member or two maybe to join Ian and I, and any others. We might be looking at maybe other museums, the community museums, or even other supervisors. I'm thinking with physical plant, I might look at someone like Jason from GFL. So just that's forthcoming. I just wanted to say that we'll get to that in a week or two.
Do you want an expression of interest when that list is out for board involvement?
Yes, when I send it all plus the policies to you so you can see what we're looking at, I'll ask if anyone's interested on each of them to let me know.
Thank you. If that's the end of business arriving, we can move on to the accounts. Kathy has going to read this summary for us.
The year end for 2021 is just being done with accounting and finance with the City of Sault Ste. Marie. So you did not receive that as of yet. February's meeting should have a better draft of what year end will look like. So I'll bring that forward then. And what you are getting though is, somewhat of a draft from mid-December, preliminary statement, December 21st is when I printed this. So it's getting close to what the final may look like. If you all have it with, or do you need me to post it on share my screen?
It was in the agenda package. I got a hard copy here.
Yeah, so we actuals for year to date on that statement, as you can see, are well below budget due to the various shutdowns and lack of tourism. So there will be a big variance according to what we budgeted for. However, we did cut expenses with the shutdown, and we brought in COVID grants. So we're still in a fairly good situation and savings, I guess you would say, fiscally responsible to the City of Sault Ste. Marie. So was there any questions on it?
Kathy, it's Jamie. You're not expecting any more grants to come into this budget, are you?
Not for 2021.
No. Okay.
We had applied for a COVID museum assistance program with the Canadian Heritage, but it doesn't look nobody has received, none of the museums that applied have received any confirmation on that. We just got a confirmation that they received it. But the money, of course, their fiscal year is end of March. So I'm thinking it's going to, if we get approved, it's going to come in, and by then we'll just have to put it into this year's budget.
Hey, Kathy, it's Alicia. As far as I'm aware, Will hasn't received the COVID relief either. I know he was checking into it in November and then again in December before the break, but so far no relief money yet on our end either. So
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll come soon.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But because you don't, like, we sort of know that if they approved the full amount, it was 10% of overall expenses. So we're looking, we hope, at 42,000, but we may not get approved at that level. So to put it as an outstanding revenue for 2021 is unrealistic because we don't even know if we're approved. So, yep. It'll be a bonus for this year. That's all I have on that.
Very well, then, if we can have somebody to move the acceptance of the expenditures year to date.
I'll move it. It's Alicia.
Thank you, Alicia. Seconder?
I can second. It's Jamie. Oh, sorry, Steve.
Oh, I thought Stephen had his hand up there as well.
Yeah, he can put him in there. He's good.
Okay, seconded by Stephen. Okay, so resolved that the Historic Site Board approve the year-to-date, the preliminary expenditures by show of hands. That's unanimous from there. Okay, Kathy, the part we all look forward to is your curator's report. No, it's the high point of the meeting. Let's
With
be
bated
honest.
breath, I know. Okay, 7.1 on grant applications. As you know, last meeting, I talked to you that I would be completing the YCW Young Canada Works. It has been completed and submitted because it's due this week. The next one for summer student grants is summer employment experience with the province. That will be for February. The approval was received at the last meeting to apply for Making Cultural Spaces Safe Reopening Fund. And the city also signed the application, and we have been approved at almost $50,000. So in that, we have to make the space safe for COVID and reopening for our visitors. So money has to be spent or at least allocated by March 31st. And so we are working fast and furious on getting price quotes and the work done. It means that the summer kitchen furnace will be replaced with a new one that will do heating, air conditioning, and HEPA filtering. So that'll be a very clean space and temperature controlled. It also is looking at making the washroom in the summer kitchen a touchless fixture washroom. So those are getting changed out. And then we are looking at just basic equipment. So plexiglass, freestanding on wheels to go in between tables, should we have to do that for serving food and beverage in the summer kitchen. Maybe even if the budget allows, a few smaller tables so we can seat only 2 maybe in our teas instead of our round tables of 6. The other thing is an electrostatic sprayer, which will disinfect by spraying the theater and the theater seating, because those are cloth seats and carpeting, and we've had them pushed in for 2 years and using plastic chairs for us to be able to wipe them down. But as you'll see shortly when I talk about it, we are getting bus tour inquiries. So we have to make that safe space safe. So there's a number of little things, and if the budget allows, because we did put in the application that we'd also like to look at some live streaming equipment. So The big ticket items, we're out for price quotes right now and to get that started, and then we'll work on the smaller ones to get those things purchased by March 31st. So that was very exciting news. The Friends of group applied last February for live arts with Canadian Heritage, and it was to help keep the live arts sector employed. We never heard, and then the Friends heard in November, end of November, that they were approved at their full ask. So they are working frantically to also get commitments before March 31st. And they have hired Theatre in Motion to do the project management for it. And a call went out to actors, musicians, anyone in the live arts, basically. And Wendy Hamilton is working on our story steeped in stone for that project. And the Friends have also applied to the Cultural Vitality Committee for the Cultural Assistance Program grants and were approved. And that is close to 6,000 for the expansion of Fall Rendezvous to include History Fest, which may also be in partnership with the Downtown Association during that event, and hopefully doing some big extra kind of event activities. One of the topics right now is to try and do the longest table event, which is down Queen and including restaurants and businesses. So there'll be more to come. They just got that approval as well. And on Friends of and Harvest Fest, the Friends are working on their local festivals application, which is due the end of January for that Fall Rendezvous. So that's grant applications. It's been a busy month. We're now spending before March 31st and we're applying. So lots to do right now. Is there any questions on grants? All's quiet. Okay, I'll move on then. 7.2 under operations. As you know, we are under the provincial shutdown for step 2, and we will hopefully hear soon if we're reopening or not on January 26th. But Ian and I are both here working on all these construction projects and grant applications. And as you can see on the agenda, we have been receiving inquiries and tentative bookings from the cruise ships. In fact, I think there's 4 companies this year looking at coming. Also, we're starting to receive the bus tours. Some of those are straight bus tours. Some are bus tours with our dinner theater program. And some are also looking at coming during Fall Rendezvous. And we already have wedding inquiries and bookings. So the world out there thinks we're going to be open, and we're very excited. I've answered them all saying you're penciled in, and we will confirm as we move forward with reopening. So it could look very prosperous this year. And with that, we are moving forward with the plans for Poutine Feast with the Downtown Association, which is June 30th to July 3rd. And again, Fall Rendezvous and Harvest Fest with the Friends. So those are the 2 big events that we're starting to plan and move forward with. Because we're still closed and we can't do our little things like Fridays by the Fire, which was every Friday, January, February, March, and our Valentine's teas and things. We are going to be sending out, it went out to the members first already, but beginning of the week, it's going out to the public. Our Valentine treat package again, which will be sold for curbside pickup. We last year had 50 packages ordered, which was a nice little thing in when we were closed last year at this time. And that's our heart-shaped cookies, our heart-shaped chocolates. The story about the Ermitinger chocolates went in it, and our homemade preserves and biscuits. So you'll see that poster coming your way very soon. And so that's really the programming that we're currently underway with. And just for your information, the Volunteer Service Awards happen every year. We will be submitting by February 18th nominations for any of our volunteers that have met the 5, 10, 15, 20. Those are the markings that the province acknowledges. But also on February 8th, we will be attending the virtual presentation of these awards this year for David Conyers, who has met over 5 years on the Historic Sites Board, and Jamie Van Haften, who has also met over 5 years on the Historic Sites Board. And then we have 3 reenactors that have reached 35 years. That's those old guys, the Coeur de Bois guys. And if anyone knows Marilyn, she has been well over her 10-year mark. So congratulations, that everyone will receive something sent to their house and then acknowledged on the provincial virtual awards on February 8th. So that's my update. You're on mute, David.
Yes. No,
There you go.
I noticed during your talk, both Patricia and Charlotte had their hands up. I was wondering if they had questions.
Charlotte's was a hand clapping, I think.
Oh,
Mine was congratulations to you and
Okay.
Jamie and the others. That's fantastic.
thank
Yeah.
you.
Same with mine. It's Patricia. With hand clapping.
Okay,
So
so
That's my update, David.
So David,
you-
can I ask a question?
Yeah,
Okay, so I maybe misheard you, but did you say the Friends are doing a History Fest or a Harvest Fest or both?
fall rendezvous with an expansion of Harvest Fest.
Oh, okay. So you're not doing a History Fest where you would be involve local schools and have history projects?
We have not, but now that you've said that, we could think about it.
Okay, I was involved in one years ago in Sudbury, and it was as a volunteer. Well, anyway, yeah, that's another story. But it was an interesting that and there were prizes, and it was all. I'd have to look into it. There was an organization behind it, and I don't know how the local schools, the 2 school boards, got engaged, but it was really an interesting project, and that might be something to think about, like every 5 years or every 10 years do that. But
We are meeting with the local, I call it local glam group, and we actually have a new acronym, LASH, and it is the galleries, libraries, art gallery, archives and museums in our area, and we're looking at how can we engage with the schools as a group And so we've just started those meetings. So I'm going to bring History Fest forward, and because it might be something we can at least do in partnership, even with that group.
Yeah, with the library for sure and the archives, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the museum has gallery space as well as the art gallery. So you never know if it ends up being a school project with exhibit as well.
That'd be cool. I'd be up for that, Kathy.
Okay. Are you invited to the meeting next week?
I haven't heard anything so far.
Well, I better send it to you. Okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
So the one in Sudbury, I remember that was run like a science fair, and they had, they ended up at a local high school, and all the winners from different schools were there, and it was very competitive, very well done. So it'd be kind of fun to see that happen here.
Okay. I wrote it down. I'll do my research. Any other questions on it? All of that stuff I just talked about?
Okay, this is the point where Jamie will update us any news, if any, from the Municipal Heritage Committee. She's our very good liaison with them.
Yeah, Virginia, the expert, is in the room. Virginia could talk about it too.
And Alicia.
Exactly.
All three of us. Yeah, well, there's several things underway. One of the big projects the committee is working on is the heritage listing for properties of interest. So slightly different than designation, but it does provide some interim protection to properties from demolition. So that's a process that's being worked through right now. We had the public consultation in the fall, and we're just finalizing the responses that have been coming back from the various property owners. We also have a planning meeting coming up next week because Heritage Week is coming up in February. So that's kicking off February 7th.
February 17th is National History Day.
Yeah, and then we go through into the week of the 22nd to the 25th. So we're working on what we're going to be doing. We're looking at some type of social media campaign to share different heritage tidbits throughout the week and highlight some of our heritage resources. So Jamie, who else was volunteering our?
I think Nicole volunteered.
Cool. Yeah, so and Bradley, so we're going to be working on that, and then obviously looping Kathy in as we move forward with that process and kind of pushing that out moving forward. So a little bit different just because we're not able to set up the displays like we have in the past in the mall. So looking at a different approach to it this year.
Are we doing oops, I hit something on my keyboard. Sorry. Are we doing a proclamation?
Yes, yeah. So I'm working on the proclamation that would go to the council meeting on February 22nd.
Thanks.
Any
Anything
new
else?
business? Yeah, new business.
Nothing else on municipal heritage? Jamie's shaking her head no. Okay, sorry. You can go on to new business. Which I don't have any for you.
I got nothing. No.
We're trying to keep our head above water for January. Maybe by February when we hear whether we're reopening or not.
Well, if there's no new business, our next meeting, February 9th at 12 noon. Can I have somebody to move to adjourn the meeting?
I'll move to adjourn. It's Alicia.
You, Alicia? Second,
Meeting seconder. Steven.
Stephen.
Well, thanks,
Hey.
everyone. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Same to
Happy New
you.
Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
See you in it's a short turnaround. See you in a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.